Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 82 of the Houston Astros franchise here on MLB The Show 20. Today our Houston Astros have two road series against perennial playoff contenders in the Colorado Rockies and the Oakland Athletics. And the Astros are coming off a big losing streak as they just got swept both times out against the Nationals and the Yankees, as well as losing the last of a 4-game series against the Rangers. So they're on a 7-game losing streak. Hopefully they can turn it around here against Antonio Senzatela of the Rockies. So if you're excited for this one, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Bregman will be leading us off for the Astros. He is tied for first in the American League with RBIs. And on the second pitch of the day, he'll take a fastball deep to center, however not deep enough. Raimel Tapia is underneath it to record out number 1. Here's a look at the Astros lineup today. It's a little different because the pitcher has to hit, as Verlander will be in the number 9 hole. That means no DH, so Garcia will have the day off, and Canna will be playing in right field. Remember, Diaz also at short, thanks to the injury to Correa. Here's Springer 2-1 up next. He takes a fastball and lines it to right field, running away from the right fielder. It'll get up against the wall. That'll be a 1-out double for Springer as he can coast into second base, leading to his number 34th double of the season. Altuve up next, full count, hits it into center field. That's going to get down. Springer will ground third, come home. And just like that, Houston has the first run of the ball game here, still in the top of the first. Jordan Alvarez up next, 2-0 count to him. Altuve is actually going to take off running for second base. However, he is thrown out by an inch. Poor stolen base attempt leads to 2 outs. Next pitch for Alvarez. He's going to hit it into right field for a base hit. So Altuve would have moved up to second base anyway. That's going to bring up the former Pirate Josh Bell. 1-1, hits it the other way. However, he got a little underneath it. And the Astros in the top of the first with that 1 run scored. On the mound for the Astros is the aforementioned Justin Verlander, the .350 ERA through 27 starts. He is definitely regressing a little bit, but he still has a pretty solid pitcher in his own right. Raimel Tapia will be leading off for the Rockies, who has a career high in RBIs. And on the first pitch, he's going to bloop it into left field. However, Alvarez is underneath that one, and he records out number 1. Here's a look at the Rockies lineup. We just saw Tapia followed by Cesar Hernandez, Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, and Ryan McMahon make up a wonderful 3-4-5. Then you have Anthony Santander in left field, and then in right field today, Sam Hilliard's making his first appearance of the season, and then Dom Nunez behind the plate, followed by the pitcher. Cesar Hernandez up next, 1-0. He's going to lay down a beautiful bunt. Stubbs can't get to it in time. That'll be a bunt base hit for Colorado. That brings up Nolan Arenado, who 3-1 is going to hit it deep to center field. Springer, though, does have enough space to track it down. However, that was a big shot by Arenado. That'll be out number 2. Bringing up Trevor Story, 1-0 to Story. He gets underneath this pitch right to Verlander. Good reflexes. He'll throw to second base for the 3rd out. Let's go to the top of the 3rd now with the Houston Astros, starting off with Bregman, who's going to strike out looking on a curveball. Might have been the benefit of the doubt for the pitcher. However, there's another strikeout against Springer, so back-to-back looking strikeouts for Senzatela. Then Altuve 0-2, he's going to go with a swinging strikeout. So beautiful top of the 3rd for the pitcher, and still at 1-0. How about bottom of the 4th now? Cesar Hernandez steps back into the plate. We just saw him single back in the 1st. 1-1 to him. He's not going to bunt this time. He's going to ground it to Altuve, who throws him out for the 1st in the bottom half of the inning. Arenado up next, 1-2 to him. He's going to get underneath the slider. Could have did a lot of damage with that pitch. However, Stubbs will put it away about at home plate for out number 2, leading to Trevor Story now, who had a 3-1 count. He's going to look at a curveball low. He will take his first base. Going to lead to Ryan McMahon up next. However, Story does take off for second. Kind of caught Stubbs off guard. No throw. And he has a stolen base, his 10th of the season. Later in the bat, 2-2 to McMahon. He's going to put it into center field for a base hit. Story with the stolen base pays dividends as he rounds 3rd and comes home for a run. However, McMahon is thrown out at 2nd. So that ends the 4th. However, we're tied up at 1 apiece now. And we're going to go into the top of the 6th where Senzatela only lasted 5. And Jesus Tinoco is going to come into the ball game with a 5.04 ERA. Altuve will lead us off here in the top of the 6th. He's 1 for 2 on the day, has that RBI for the Astros. And now he's going to try to lay down a bunt of his own. It's a good one, and he gets into first base safely. So what Cesar Hernandez can do, he can do better. Alvarez will draw the walk, so that'll put runners on first and second to begin the top of the sixth. Bell up next, 2-0. He's going to put it into left field for a base hit. No runners will test. However, it is bases loaded, no outs for Mark Canha. 1-1 to him. He gets a high slider, puts it into right center, goes opposite field over the wall for a grand slam. Mark Canha, grand salami 410 the other way, busts this ball game wide open. His 24th homer of the season is massive. And just like the Astros, up 5-1 with one swing of the bat. Take another look at this one. Opposite field power as well. Just carries over into the bullpen. Astros take a huge lead. That'll be it for Tinoco as well. It doesn't even go 2/3 as a lefty. Mike Montgomery is going to come into this one. He inherits the top of the sixth. Still no outs. And Diaz, he'll be first pitch swinging. However, there will be the first out of the inning as he grounds to the sixth spot. Next up, Stubbs. First pitch to Stubbs. He gets a changeup and blasts it into the gap. This one's going to be extra bases. Stubbs already 2 for 2 on the day with 2 triples. How about you add a double to that one as well? That is 8 total bases for Stubbs so far today. Verlander, who's still in the game, he's going to lay down a sacrifice bunt, move Stubbs over to third, but record the second out. That's going to lead us to Bregman, who full count's going to swing at a low changeup, strike 3. However, damage been done. It's 5-1 Astros. We're going to go now later into the ball game. Charlie Blackmon is going to come in and pitch hit in the bottom of the sixth. It means no more Montgomery, and he's going to get a pinch hit single into center field. So that'll be a leadoff single. But Alvarez with a horrible throw. I don't know where the heck he was throwing this one. Stubbs has to come to it, but that's going to be a single E7 as Blackmon moves up to second base. So now Tapia up next, 0-1. He's going to put it into left field where Alvarez will field it. Runner will stay at third. And now we have runners on the corners, no outs for Cesar Hernandez. 1-1 to Cesar. He puts it into center field. That's going to be another run for the Rockies as they start to chip away at this Astros lead. It's now 5-2. Arenado up next. 1-1 chops it to the shortstop Diaz. 6-4. 3 double play, but a runner is on third. Big double play though, as now Trevor Story's up next, 3-0, but he's going to swing at it anyway, hits the chalk for a fair ball. Another run comes around for the Rockies. They chop it now to 5-3, and now they have a runner on second base for McMahon. Full count. He swings at a low pitch, and it gets to Alvarez and left. So 5-3 now after 6. Let's go top 7 now. Go back with the Astros. Daniel Bard will take them out since Blackmon pinch hit last half inning. Top of the 7 starts off with Springer. 1-2 to him. Puts a fastball. Goes the other way. However, a little too much hang time as Hilliard's underneath it for out number 1. Jose Altuve up next. 2-0 to Altuve. He's going to slap a fastball past the glove of the first baseman into right field for a double. Hilliard has a little bit of troubles with it. However, Altuve will stay at second base. It's going to bring up Yordan Alvarez. First pitch to Alvarez, gets underneath a fastball, puts it into foul territory. That'll be an easy out for Arenado for the second of the inning. Next up, Josh Bell. They're going to draw the intentional walk. They want to force at every base, and they don't want to deal with Josh Bell. Instead, they got to deal with Mark Canha, who already has a grand slam. 1-0, puts it into left field. That's a base hit. Altuve rounds third, comes home. That is the 5th RBI of the day for Canha. So he continues to rake here in Colorado. Diaz up next, 2-1 to him. Fastball. This is going to bloop into right center. It's also going to get down. Another run's going to come around and score. It's 7-3 Astros. Still runners on the corners. Astros firing on all cylinders. So the Rockies are going to bring in James Pasos to come in and try to get this last out. You'll have to do it against Stubbs, who 0-1 chops it to the shortstop Story, who fields it, throws him out. But it's 7-3 Astros now. We're going to go bottom 9 with it, though, and Colorado trying to get something going. Here's a double play that should end the game, but good wheels by McMahon beats it out. So the Rockies, they're still alive in this one. It's 2 outs, runners on the corners. Nunez up next, and he hits this one deep to center. It's going to be no doubt about it. Home 3-run shot for Colorado. Dom Nunez, the catcher of all people, 7th of the season, goes 458. Absolute hammered this one off Brad Peacock. And don't look now, but instead of this ball game being over, it's a 1-run lead here for the Astros. So what are they going to do in response? They're going to bring in Presley to get this last out, looking for save number 22. He's got to do it against Brendan Rodgers, who's pitch hitting, and he's going to pop up into shallow right. Altuve gets underneath it, and the Astros do close out game number 1 by a final score of 7-6. A little bit of late inning drama here, but the Astros hold on and win. They snap their 7-game losing streak as Verlander gets the win, Tinoco gets the loss, and Presley gets the save. And you got to assume player of the game. Yeah, it's Mark Canha. 2 for 4 with that grand slam. 5 of the 7 RBIs. That's his 66th of the season. And thankfully, we're able to snap this 7-game win streak as we have this 2-game series against Colorado. And in game number 2, we win 7-2, so a little bit more comfortable in this one. And it was Bell who had the big game with 4 RBIs of his own, 2 home runs for him. Springer also added a homer of his own. And the RBIs for Colorado come from a Hernandez solo shot and Charlie Blackmon. Colors actually pitched pretty well. He got the win and Freeland got the loss. So in the second half of the episode, we traveled to Oakland to face the Oakland Athletics, who sit 75-60 on the season. The defending World Series champs trying to get back to the playoffs are about a game and a half out of the wild card spot. Let's take a look at the lineups for both teams. Both the similar players you would expect. However, we have DH again, so Canha will fill that spot. Garcia will move back to right. No surprises here against Oakland. Their usual players. They got a couple of cold hitters at the top, and Nick Senzel and Luis Urias, so we'll have to see how they do. On the mound for Oakland will be Daniel Mengden, the all-star pitcher, who's got a 4.27 ERA. It's not looked so good since the all-star break. Now, last time we saw him, we were able to get to him early, so let's look to do the same thing in this outing. And on the mound for us will be Joe Musgrove, the recently acquired pitcher from Pittsburgh at the trade deadline. Hasn't looked very good in Houston, so he's still looking to find his footing here in his new home at a 3.11 ERA, so still pretty low. We just need a dominant performance from him. We're going to start off this one in the top of the second, go a little bit forward in this one. 2-2, Alvarez chops it to the shifting shortstop. That'll be out number 1 here in the top of the second. Next up will be Josh Bell, 1-0 to him. He gets a high cutter and pops it up to deep right center. Got a little bit underneath this one, not enough to clear the fence. And that's out number 2 here in the top of the second. Mark Canha up next, 2-0 to him. He gets a fastball and ropes it to left center. Canha with another home run this episode. That ball is gone. It's not a 4-bagger, but it's a 1-bagger. It's 25th of the season. And I still have to wonder, why did Oakland let Canha walk? He was a huge reason they won the World Series last year. But one team's rags is another team's riches. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. I think that's how that saying goes. But we will gladly accept Canha on this team. We only get one here at the top of the second, but it's by the former Athletic, so very sweet moment for him. And we'll go bottom 4 now. Chris Davis standing up to the plate. He's already 1 for 1 today. And he's going to strike out looking on a curveball. It'll be Musgrove's 3rd strikeout already of the day. Aristides Aquino up next. 1-0, chops it in front of the plate. Stubbs will have to come out and get it. Nice play by the catcher, who throws him out at first for the second out. Next up, Austin Allen, 2-2 to Allen. He blows this one to deep right field, however, just underneath it. And Musgrove's through 4 with no runs earned. Let's go top 5 now. McCanna's going to lead us off. We just saw him hit that solo shot. He's in the same count, 2-2. Gets another fastball, but this time just rips it to the shortstop. And that'll be out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. Avisail Garcia up next. Full count to him. He's going to look at a fastball that misses the zone. That's another walk for the Astros, who leads the American League in walks with 530 on the season. Diaz is up next. However, there's a runner stealing a base, and Garcia is thrown out just barely. I question the call, but that's out number 2. And then leader in the at-bat, Elizabeth Diaz, full count, mashes it to left field. No doubt about this one. And that's another solo shot for the Astros. You would have wished it would be 2. But nonetheless, Elizabeth Diaz goes yard for his 6th homer of the season. And remember, Diaz missed some time this year with an injury, so it's good to see him healthy and raking again. Next up is Garrett Stubbs, who has a good game against the Colorado Rockies, and he's going to continue it here with the base hit into left field. A little bit of trouble out there in left for Tommy Pham. Allows Stubbs to take second. That's a single E7 against Tommy Pham. Bregman up next, first pitch swinging. Beautiful fastball to crush, but he gets underneath it as well. And the Astros get one here in the top of the fifth. They extend their lead to 2. Let's go bottom 5 now. Chad Pinder is going to lead us off. He walked in his first appearance back in the second. And he's going to walk here again on 4 pitches as Musgrove loses a little bit of command. So leadoff base runner on for Oakland. Nick Senzel up next, top of the order. He's been a little cold going into this game. And he's going to start his 5th inning off with a single. So now runners on first and second, no outs. Next batter, Urias. He's going to ground into a 4-6, not 3 double plays. Nice wheels, beats out the throw. Puts runners on the corners now. 1 out for Tommy Pham, 2-0, and he ropes this one to left field off of the wall out there. And that's going to allow Oakland to have their first run of the day. They cut the lead in half, now 2-1. Runners on second and third. Next up, Matt Olson, first pitch swing, and he grounds it to second base. Altuve is actually going to come home with it, throws in time, but the tag is not. That is another run for Oakland. I don't know how they didn't get the tag down, and everybody is safe. And then Chapman up next hits this one to deep right center, and it clears the wall for a 3-run bomb. Matt Chapman, holy Toledo, the Oakland Athletics have the lead. It was 2-0 literally a couple batters ago. Now it's 5-2. And you got to wonder, that missed tag at home cost Houston a run. As now they're down by 3 with basically 2 swings of the at-bat. Chris Davis is going to chop it to the infield. He's thrown out for out number 2. Next up is Aristides Aquino. He's also first pitch swing. He's going to ground it to the shortstop, who will be thrown out at first. And now Musgrove's good day, it looks like it's come to an end. Let's go to top 6, see if Houston has any sort of answer. Well, Springer's going to try to answer with a lead-off double into left. Springer's been swinging a very hot bat recently. Good to see him picking it up in that 2-hole. Altuve up next. First pitch swinging, gets underneath the fastball, pops it up in all that foul territory, and Olsen able to get on his wheels and record out number 1. Alvarez up next. He's swinging on a low changeup. That's another strikeout, second of the day for Mingden. And then Bell up next, 2-2. He lines a cutter into right field. Doesn't miss on this one. That's going to get down. And the runner's going to come around and score. So Houston does get one of those runs back. They trim it to a 5-3 deficit. Canna up next, 0-2. Single into center. Continues to make his former team pay. Bell is going to get on his horse and slide safely into third. Barely beats the tag. But Garcia up next. He pops this one up into foul territory as well. Olsen on his horse over there once more. Records out number 3. So Houston trying to chip away at this lead. As we go a little bit later into the ballgame, Chris Devinsky, who actually came in into the 6th, he's going to continue into the 7th. Starting off with Matt Olson, 2-2 up the middle. It's going to be fielded nicely and thrown out for the first out. How about Matt Chapman? Just hit that 3-run bomb. He's going to draw the walk. Devinsky not really giving him anything to hit. That does put a runner on first for Chris Davis. 1-0 to Davis. Lines it deep into the left center gap. It's going to reach all the way against the wall. Thankfully, Springer was playing a little deep, so that'll allow Chapman to hold up at third. However, runners on second and third, 1 out. And we're going to intentionally walk Aquino. Try to get that foresight every bag. Looking for that double play ball. So that'll bring up Austin Allen, though, who on 4 pitches walks. So that'll bring in a run, actually, as Oakland extends their lead to 6-3 without even swinging the bat. Pinder up next, though. He's going to strike out with a slider in the dirt. That's 2 outs. But for this last out, we're going to try to turn it over to a fresh pitcher. It's Brad Peacock, who has a 5.64 ERA. Hopefully he can get Nick Senzel out, and he does. Grounder to the first baseman. Bell flips it, and Peacock beats him by half a step. So we kind of get out of the jam, but it's 6-3 now, Oakland. Astros running out of time. Lou Trevino is going to come in now in the top of the 8th. 1.47 ERA for him. His first batter, Springer, though, gets underneath the curveball, blasts it to straightaway center. That ball is well out of here. Bounces back into the park. But that's a 4.37 bomb by Springer. Talk about swinging a hot bat. That's his 19th homer of the season. That's another run the Astros try to get back as they try to chip away at this lead once more. It's now 6-4 Athletics lead. Altuve up next. He can't catch up on a 97 here. That'll be out number 1. Alvarez up next. 0-1 to him. Grounds it into the shift. However, he'll beat the shift as second baseman can't throw him out at first base. So good hustle by Alvarez to reach on board. Bell up next, 1-1, gets underneath the fastball, hits it deep to right center. Aquino is back, and he's able to make the outs. A lot of missed good pitches here by both squads. There's now 2 outs. Canna up next. He's going to swing through a fastball, so Houston gets 1 in the top of the 8th. Now they're down to their last inning. J.B. Wendelken will come in to try to close the door against us, looking for save number 34. And he'll start it off against Garcia. Garcia, first pitch swinging, puts a changeup into right field. It's down for a base hit. And that means tying run is at the plate. And right now it's Diaz. 2-0 to Diaz. Off of the pitcher, Wendelken. Shortstop out of position. Everybody is safe. And now the tying run is aboard. They're going to bring in Miles Straw, 2-pinch run for Diaz. And now Garrett Stubbs at the plate. First pitch swinging into center field. However, it's got a little bit too much air underneath it. That is out number 1. Now we go to the top of the order. Bregman, he's been quiet today. Up the middle, base hit. No, it's not. It's a 4-6-3. No, it's not a double play. The Astros stay alive. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag. That would have been the end of the game. Instead, Springer's going to put another single into left. A run will score. Bregman will hustle into third. And now the tying run is 90 feet away. A little big at bat coming for Altuve, who's 0 for 4 on the day. 2-2, slaps it into right field. We have a tie ball game. Astros come back here in the ninth, tied up at 6. And now the go-ahead run is 90 feet. Wendelken blows the save. Altuve is fired up. And Oakland pulls it to Jose Castillo, the lefty-on-lefty matchup, to try to savor at least a tie. Full count to Alvarez. Swings through the fastball. We're going to the bottom of the ninth now, tied at 6 apiece. Hand is in the ballgame for Houston. The first batter is Chapman, who hits a laser to right field that is caught by Garcia for out number 1. Davis up next, swings through the high fastball. Nice pitch by Hand. His second strikeout of the day. And then Aquino up next, swings through the low fastball. Hand wheeling and dealing in the late innings. So we're going to go into extras. Start off in the top of the 10th. Canna gets plunked. Maybe a little bit of revenge. However, this will be a weird spot for revenge. So now 1 on, 1 out for Houston. Garcia up next, takes a slider to Pham in left for out number 2. Then Miles Straw gets his first plate appearance of the day. 2-0, pops up a fastball into right center. So Houston gets nothing in the top of the 10th. We go to Oakland in the bottom of the 10th. Senzel grounds out to short second baseman Altuve and hands through another spotless half inning. Now it's top 11. Now Ryan Tepera comes in for Oakland with a 4.86 ERA. Not so good season for him. First batter subs on a full count. Will check his swing and draw the first walk of the inning. So now go ahead run is at first. Bregman swings through the sinker. Bad day for Bregman. He's 0 for 5. How would you expect of one of the MVP frontrunners? Now Springer, he's had a good day of his own. Hits it to third base. It's knocked down by Chapman. However, he can't throw him out at first. Springer gets another base hit in this ball game, and now we got 2 runners on. Jose Altuve up next, 1-2, puts it through the gap into right field. Runner's going to come home. Throw is not going to be in time. The Astros have the lead. Altuve with another clutch base hit. The former AL MVP putting the team on his back here in the late innings. Alvarez up next, though, gets a hold of this 1-2 pitch. Aquino can't jump at the wall and make the grab. Runners are going to start advancing. Another one is actually going to come home. It's 8-6 Houston. That's a double by Alvarez. Astros trying to get more insurance here. That'll actually knock Tepera out of the ball game instead. The former Royal Hakeem Soria will come in. He has a 3-1 to Bell. Bell will draw the walk. So now bases loaded. Only 1 out. Mark Canna up next. 2-2 to Canna. He can't check his swing. He's going to strike out on that weird-looking curveball. So now bases loaded. 2 outs for Garcia. 1-0 pitch. And it's into center field. Gets in front of the center fielder. 2 more runs are going to score. Bell, however, gets thrown out at second base thanks to some poor base running. The Astros are going to go into the bottom half of the 11th with a 4-run lead. And we're going to bring in Edubre Ramos to try to close it out. However, it's not going to be easy. He walks the bases loaded, putting the tying run at the plate. I don't know why Ramos is struggling here, but then the tying run at the plate, he draws another walk and walks a runner in. So now bases loaded, no outs, only a 3-run lead, so It's a closing situation. We're just going to turn it over to Presley. Hopefully he can get us out of this one. 2-2 pitch to Davis. He looks at a sweeping curve for a big strikeout. And the next batter, Aquino, full count to him. How about this 6-4-3 double play? Presley gets out of a bases loaded, no out jam. Doesn't allow a single run, gets the save. Astros win a thriller here in Oakland, 10-7 at the Coliseum in this 3-game series. Big win here for the Astros, proving that they can handle their division rivals. Hand pitched phenomenal. He gets rewarded with a win. The loss will go to Tepera, and the save goes to Presley. Player of the game, I think it could go to a couple of players. I think maybe Hand, but it goes to Springer instead. 4 for 6, a homer, a double, and 2 singles. Just a triple side cycle. Springer's been swinging that hot bat, and it pays off here in Game 1 of the series. Well, let's go to Game 2 now of the series. A little bit of the opposite. The Oakland Athletics win this one by a low score here of 2-1. We had a solo shot by Altuve in the 4th, but the Oakland Athletics were able to get a run from a solo shot by Chapman as well as Chad Pinder. Urquidy pitched well, but not well enough. Then in Game number 3, we get absolutely slaughtered. 12-2, giving up the 6-burger in the 6th. We've highlighted it in recent episodes. Our pitching has been pretty bad down the stretch, and this is just another one in that book. And at this point, I think we have to make a change in the bullpen. So we're going to try to make a move. Peacock goes down to AAA, and we're going to call up Alex Reyes, who I know has really struggled in the majors. However, he's pitched well at AAA, so I'm willing to give him another chance. However, he will be at a short leash. I'm going to go ahead and simulate the first 2 games of the Seattle series, and we win 14-1, putting up a 10 spot in the 8th. Runs were aplenty for Houston here as they, I guess, blow off a little bit of steam against Seattle. And they win Game 1 of this 4-game series, and then Game 2 we win 5-1. So maybe a little bit of a pitching turnaround for Houston here. On this time, get off to 5 runs in 3 innings and coast to a victory as Alvarez 1 yard in this one. And Reyes, he pitched 2 or 3 scoreless innings. So the reason why we simmed the first 2 games of the Seattle series, that puts us to the end of August. And we'll pick up the Seattle series in September. But that's going to do it for this one. Next episode, we have an August recap as we get into the last month of the season. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.